Hello everyone, welcome to the Watch Poplars. I'm now, I guess, I'm gonna just show you uncut footage of me saving the Aristolochia californica vines. Yeah, I'm sure, I don't know, it's a hard, difficult plant to come by, but it's a vine. And there are some behind you that are good examples. Well, I guess. Well, it's not flowering now, but you see the leaves. Very distinct. They're deciduous. They have a nice fuzzy stem. It's very soft. Probably for adaptation for drier summers, which we have. We are not in a Mediterranean climate, but climates with dry summers and wet winters lean towards Pacific Northwest. Californian is what we should call that kind of climate, where they have very dry summers. Because the Mediterranean still gets rain during summer. I've mentioned that a few, maybe once other time, but you know, I'm just gonna get to work. I have my shears. These are forged, I don't know when, but that makes them authentic. There is no company label on them, so I don't know where they came from, but they were recently sharpened. Yeah, and don't buy shears that were created from a flat piece of metal and then cut into a blade shape. Don't get those, because it's not structurally stable. And I don't know. Maybe they add, like, it doesn't, because you still get that flat piece, but these were just poured into like a flat, shallow thing. I don't know. With the bad ones, I call, maybe they are not forged. They already come like that. I don't know how. But then they just cut it into like flat sheets, thin sections of metal, and then they carve the blade out. But you know, this is really tough stuff. I don't know what this is made of. It could be steel. It's very dark gray. There's a hint of brown where it's oxidizing, but you know, I don't know, that doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But you know, here, there's a whole bunch of invasive shit invading this area. I'm gonna try not to talk because that slows me down. So I don't know what the purpose of this video is. It's gonna be kind of long. In the worst case, but you know, I haven't posted in a while. I'm trying to post something at least once every 10 days. Preferably once every week, at least. But yeah. And yeah. So I'll be working my way downhill. I don't know how that's gonna affect the view. I'll do my best to keep the phone in an area where you can see what I am doing. So in this area, there is Vinca major, greater periwinkle, in the milkweed family, Apocynaceae. Then there is Hedrahelix, English ivy, in the Aurelia family, Aureliaceae. And then there is Rubus armeniacus of Rosaceae, of the rose family. And this is from the Himalayas. I don't know why it says armeniacus in the last scientific, no, the species name, which is the second name of it, armeniacus. Sounds like Armenia. It could be just a fluke. But usually when it could have been, the species name could have been Himalayensis, because ensis, from what I have observed, I haven't looked it up, but it appears that ensis is a suffix in Latin meaning like where, like a place. So Pistachia chinensis is the Chinese pistache. Alnus nepalensis is the Nepalese alder. But I'm talking about this. So, unlike the native raspberry we have, this has, well, this forms also 5 leaves. It can form 5 leaves. Yeah, but when it's like this leaf here just looks like an ordinary raspberry leaf. However, as the leaves in the stem mature, the newer leaves will keep more hairs on them. I'm guessing because these leaves formed in the wetter part of the year. These ones form in a drier part of the year, so it takes more effort for just a smooth leaf to stay alive as it grows into the dry season on a shoot, a cane, which this isn't really. I mean, people call them canes. So this white, it's a fuzz. It's really soft, where there are no spines. There are spines along the middle vein, and maybe on the bigger leaves there are spines on the axillary veins. Yeah, there are. I'm wasting time. Well, I think that's it. There's nothing else invading here. Pretty much the only problem that is here, which is, it's a good thing that's only those two. Makes it manageable. I could probably, I mean, I'm not going to be here forever, so I won't be coming here for a whole lot of time. So at some point, this is going to have to be maintained by someone else. Yeah. And then sometimes people walk their dogs here, so I just want to, I don't want to let them know that there's a video being filmed. So I'm just going to be silent. I do have a guilty pleasure for the blackberries. They're really delicious. But you gotta keep an eye on them, because they not only spread by sprouting canes like that, rooting into the ground and then sprouting back up, they also spread rhizomes. So you gotta keep a close eye on your foraging bush. Grew down. Yeah, it's a blackberry. Okay. I'm gonna go all out here. Now, I'm trying to reassure myself that I don't need to worry as much right now. Because the restoration process, when you're removing all the invasive shit, it's the worst time. It's the most, like, I don't know, anxiety-inducing time for both you and the native plant, because you could rip out quite a few native parts of the native plant or individuals. But, you know, this is a vine, so I'm not really concerned. You know, I'd be a lot more careful and slow, and I'd be using my scissors more instead of just ripping things out. If, yeah. But I wouldn't be doing that if it was, I don't know. So, yeah. There's a very, very rare amarylid relative. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's in the lily family. Hopefully you can hear me. If I see poison oak, I'll leave it. Because it is not close to the road. You're about like a meter away from the road. Should I just throw all this stuff back? I have to pick it all up later. So, I don't know. Okay, that's not in the middle of the road. Okay, that is ivy that rooted into this piece of dirt. Oh, it's called calicornis. It's a calicornis. They look really cool. And they only grow on, I don't know, on places where the invasive grasses can't. Because the grasses, bromus, the invasive brome, grass, the ripgut, all the same thing, can actually disturb things that are not other grasses, or very, very tiny, like stuff. certainly disturbs us, believe it or not, because the ticks love it. There are not supposed to be so many ticks. Now, I don't know why there were barely any ticks in Colorado. And I don't know why, but there's a lot of ticks here. Ouch. It's a lasso. You could harness a cow with that. It wouldn't last long because it would dry up and get stale. It's a football. Oh. Okay. Very voluptuous vines. It's not growing anymore. Huge vine. At least for the Aristolochia. Okay, now it's just ivy. Mostly. Oh, those are the old flowers. Just old periwinkle leaves. Now this goes out of my way. You do not want to damage these. They feel delicate. I think they're a lot stronger than I think. They're not. They're maybe a little bit herbaceous, but they don't die back to the ground. They can sprout out of older wood or stem. doesn't look, I don't know, this, hold on, is this the same, this, no, this is Aristolochia. It's just a very big vine. Unless, no, I don't know. Yeah, it's ivy. It behaves like ivy. It smells like ivy. And what about that other one that was kind of fuzzy? I don't think that's, smells different, so I'll leave that one. I have a friend who once ate a leaf of ivy, immediately spit it out and said it tasted like shade. I guess it was a figure of speech, because I don't know. Yeah, it's really hard to describe something when you don't know how to describe it without being obvious. Oh no, it's a ladybug. There's so much. What is that? This. The Aristolochia likes to coil around things too. Oh yes, there's big bad vine right here. Okay. I'm not done yet. Okay, how are we doing? How can you see me? Okay. Yeah, that's kind of nice. Okay. Half an hour almost. I don't want it to go for too long. I also want to work sideways as well. Then gradually working my way down. Okay, that was actually ivy. Yeah, that's ivy. And I'm gonna clear up all the mess on the road when I'm done. It is possible, quite likely, that I'm not gonna actually, I am actually gonna go without a month of posting, because I got accepted after, signing up for this conservation thing in the Sierras. I got accepted into it. I don't know if it's gonna be at high elevation or low elevation. But I'm gonna be out there from late July to late August. Restoring, well, not just that, but conservation. Making a trail that diverts away from a fragile environment. So that really interests me. It's going to be in a place I don't really have. I have never looked really closely at what grows there. Because I don't often go to the Sierras long enough to like spend, I don't know. I mean, I know more about what's at high elevation than low elevation. Because that's just where I've been. Easy, delicate. Trying not to pull the leaves off. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it's still, I mean, it stem photosynthesis as well. It's green all over. So it's all good. Maybe they go drought deciduous as well. I don't know. It doesn't, I mean, the broad leaves, I have no idea. I'm trying to do this before dinner time. I don't have to finish it, but I want to get good practice done. Oh no. Sometimes yeah, this is what I meant. It's fine. There's no roots attached to this, so it's just the above ground portion, so it will just sprout back long and wild next year, maybe later this summer. I don't know how long it grows for, not the length, but just the time frame it's growing. Depends on how vigorous the shoot is. Something like this. Well, the tip is broken, but it's probably growing until recently. I would love to have these as like an accent plant, or like somewhere around my area of the yard, because this is a really nice plant. I like it when it's deciduous, especially when it gets good fall colors like this. These turn yellow. These leaves turn yellow. They leaf out. They start leafing out in they start breaking dormancy in mid-February, and then at the peak spring stage, where the growth is starting to extend, they flower in early March, based on one picture I have on March 7th, 2024. So I don't know the full duration of blooming that these go through, but I hope to see that in spring of 2026. And okay, what is this? I don't want to find out. I need to speed up. I'm trying to do this because I'll be away for a month, most likely. But so what I was saying after so much time is that I'm gonna film probably a lot of stuff there, and then I'm gonna just barrage you with uploads when I get back. So that'll be fun, because there will be no service. It said in the career description that there was going to be no service, so that's why I thought it was going to be high up, very remote, places that no one has been, and only authorized people can go. such as participants and staff. I wonder how many friends I'm gonna make up there. Yeah. What will we find? Yeah, but I don't want this video to, we're just past 30 minutes. That's, oh, no, it's okay. I'll definitely show more progress of this place later. So I don't really need to film an entire 3-hour long video of me just clearing the whole thing in one evening and then having to run back home for dinner. Oh, that's a long pine. Might have broken a few native ones, but it's okay. As long as I didn't remove. I haven't removed them, and I have not yet accidentally pulled out a whole individual of Aristolochia californica yet, so that's good. Okay, that went behind me. I don't often like making uncut videos. They're kind of boring, aren't they? But, you know, I don't know. I'm just, I have a fear when filming that my phone's gonna turn off if I don't keep an eye on it when it's paused. Because it has happened, like, I don't know, a bit less than 10 times, but, you know, it's a bit concerning. I think one time it was because of overheating. My phone was in the sun. But usually I think it's just, I don't know why. It has been because of my phone dying. No. That has happened. I think I did post a video recently, and the video ended, I was talking about Buckeyes, an update video, and my phone died, and that's where I left off. I was saying, my Buckeye bonsai, pre-bonsai, it looks like any other Buckeye around us. They're all defoliating for the dry season. And that's just because my Buckeye wasn't watered very well. But it's still alive and healthy. It just got fall colors right now. There's a bunch of I need to move it. Or maybe I need to... Well, I got a lot done today. You know, all of this was up, you know, aside from here, the only place that dipped down below this little crest right here. Yeah, but I've gotten, you know, over a meter, 2 meters past that, so that's quite a lot of progress for being on camera. But that's all I want to do, because I don't want to make this any longer. I don't want to tour you all over the place, because it just extends it more. However, I do want to show you one more thing. So this is Aurelia californica. It is the ultimate Californian shade plant. And I have never seen it in any landscaping. I don't think, I mean, maybe I probably haven't like paid attention to it in the Tilden Botanical Garden, but it's there probably. I just haven't noticed it. But we need to plant this more. This is huge. It's an herbaceous perennial in the same family as the English ivy, Aristolochia. In the Aurelia family. This is the basal genus of the family, Aurelia. There are tree Aurelias, there are Aurelias from Japan, there's quite a few from East Asia. And then there's one, at least here, that's really large, herbaceous perennial. This is all one individual. That's my guess. This is all one individual. There's a patch here. There's a huge patch further upstream. And then there's another smaller patch, around the same size. No, it's actually smaller, further down, on the other side of the road. But I really like this plant. And it gets really good fall colors. This turns yellow. It turns yellow. In late October, around Halloween time, it's its peak fall color. It's really nice. Yeah, so you can see here, there's a dead stalk right here from last year. That dead stalk leaning down. But yeah, I love this plant. Biggest leaves of any native plant I ever know. Because it's shade tolerant, but it's also kind of fuzzy, so that, it can, it isn't normally. I'm sure these thrive without the ivy. They don't need the ivy to thrive. We'll see. But yeah, I'll show you this place in fall, and it was really nice. They're really nice plants. So that's all for today. Thanks for joining me. And this is the Watch Poplars. And I will see you next time here among the Aurelias.